Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been such a while since I was up on here. I'm glad to be back. I hope you guys have been doing well. In today's video, I just want to share about 5 ways my life has changed since I got a baby. And this is some of those bittersweet moments. Some are good changes, some are bad. Okay, not bad, like strange kind of changes that I didn't anticipate. But yeah, this is what I'm going to share in today's video. So stay with me. Where number one, my life has changed since I had a baby. Um, my priorities have just shifted a great deal. Like a while ago, how I'd prioritize things is not how I prioritize now. Of course, now when you have a child, your priority is a child. What are they going to eat? How are they doing? How are they feeling? And all those things. So it's quite interesting when you see your priorities just completely disheveled into new ways of reorganizing and re-strategizing. And that has also taught me to find out what is important, or find what is important and focus on it. It has enabled me to even check out what my priorities before. Were they helping? Are they helpful? And now I find that my priorities begin and sort of end with Tendai in mind, and that's quite interesting. And the thing I've learned, or the thing I'd like to share with you about that, is that as you move into a new season in your life, establish what your top priority is and just focus on it and let the rest move. Number two, body changes. My gosh, I think this is usually the top priority of the top thing, how life changes when you get a baby. Your body just takes a hit. Number one, you are not the same. Like now I'm recognizing, or I'm realizing recently, that my balance is not what it used to be. Sometimes I get up from a seat and I'm like, whoa. So that's interesting to note. Of course, your body goes through changes, different kind of changes, as you're getting a big and pregnancy, and then after you get the baby, your body now is trying to sort of go back, or change in a new way, and that's interesting in all sorts of ways. Your body is producing a lot of like milk for the baby, so that changes in the body is very interesting. A lot of people get very depressed, or go through issues when they're dealing with body changes. And the one thing that I've learned from that is do what you need to do, or what you can, or what you need to do to stay sane. Like for me, I've been sort of working out in the house, using body project here and there, just to keep safe. And also the endorphins release just give me a really nice vibe about myself. But I also know there are people who are usually not able to get up and go even as far as on and on. But the one thing that I'm learning from that specific change is that get up and do what you can, and then leave the rest. And as you love your new body, love the new changes that are happening to you, and you never know, the new changes could be good for you. But for me, that has really been an interesting change to see myself. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, yeah. But then I'm glad for the little workouts. They've strengthened my arms and my legs, and now I'm able to do maybe things that I would have done before getting Tendai. So that's been interesting. Number three, way that my life has changed since getting a baby, community, friendships and community. This has been the kind of the season that I have realized the value of community, the value of good friendships, and the importance of having the people who understand, or who are able to help you in your new season. And that has been such an interesting thing to learn, because I've also learned how to be a good friend, how to be supportive to other people who are going through these changes, how to cut people some slack, even as they're going through the changes and the differences, the different things in motherhood. And I know sometimes when you're not in the same season with someone, you don't know what to say, what to do. For those friends, let me say, for if you're having a friend who is in a season of motherhood, sometimes just being there for them, to help them hold the baby, or serve them some food, or just tell them it's going to be okay, I'll hold the baby when you go, maybe take a shower or just rest. Simple things are what help in this season. And I've really enjoyed the community that God has placed around me, and that those friendships that have grown in this season have been really, really wonderful for me. And I thank God even for having a community like this. And so even as I embrace this season of motherhood, friendships and community have really come through for me. And my heart goes out to anyone who may not have the friendships and the community that they need around them. May God provide for you what you need. Thing 4, clothes of the wearer of said body. When you're a mom, or when you're single, the clothes you wear are really for, it looks good on me, it is tight in the right places, blah, blah, blah. When you're a mom, the one thing that you need access to is baby's food or your breasts. And so your clothes become reduced to, is this breastfeeding friendly or not? Which is so interesting, because suddenly tops that were cute and right, tight in the right places, they become so meh. And now we're looking for things that have buttons ukumbele, so that you're able to feed baby whenever you're moving around, because of your changing body that I've said in a point up or juu. Now you're looking for clothes that don't fit you too tightly. If you maybe went through a CS, you don't want clothes that are hurting your scar. As in, your clothes just change, and it becomes more functional than pretty and beautiful. And there's usually the golden spot where you can find a dress or a top that's both functional and beautiful, and that is so interesting. So my clothes choices have changed. Of course, now that you're buying, say, baby clothes for baby, your budget sort of also changes, so that you're buying, in the places where you can get, because there's some people who's buying in serious places for baby. So for me, it's been really shifting and finding a perfect place for buying baby clothes that are not too expensive, because also they have such a short time. So that's been interesting. Some clothes I've had to put away or just donate or give them away. And then there's just the season of finding new clothes, enjoying the ones that are functional and that you're able to get around with more. Thing 5, finally, food. Before, I really liked food, and me, I'd gravitate. If I'm going to somewhere, and my first question is like, is there food? And we'd gravitate in that general direction. And even then, it was for maybe nourishment of the body or just enjoying good food. Now that I'm breastfeeding, I find that I'm hungrier, more hungry, especially just right after breastfeeding. You're like, natulikula jana kweli, ama leo yote tumeona food. So I'm eating, but also that means that you get very creative or very particular about what you eat, so that you eat foods that help me. I'm eating foods that are helping me produce more milk, as opposed to now eating just anything. You're avoiding a lot of junk food now, with being careful about what baby consumes through you. Of course, you're getting uji from mamas, and the story of uji gives you a potty, so there's that, and regulating. As in, my food choices have just expanded and grown in different ways, and become such an interesting place, plethora of things. But it is interesting, and it is exciting and enjoyable. But now I've had to always choose or know what you need to eat for baby's best nourishment. So that's interesting to see. Those are the 5 ways my life has changed since I got a baby, and I'm learning and enjoying the good, the bad, the ugly, seeing how all of that affects me, and of course just letting God lead me and guide me in this next season. Yeah. So whatever changes you're going through in this new season, just embrace, learn how to cope with it. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below, like, share, and of course subscribe to This Is Life with Mo. Until next time, neema iwatoshe.